Hello, lovely podcast listeners. Welcome to episode 35 of the Take It With a Grain of Sand podcast. We are your hosts, Mickey P.
And Ricky P.
And boy, oh boy, do we have a show for you today. We got 3 segments. You know how it works. We're going to go in and do these segments as we've already recorded. And so we know what happens, but you don't. And you just have to keep listening to find out.
Yeah. Well, wait. Before we actually get started, this is something that we've meant to actually mention for episodes upon episodes, but we just keep forgetting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty much late at this point, but new theme?
Oh, the music?
You've heard it? Yeah, the new theme.
It's playing right now. We just can't hear it because I'm going to edit it in after.
Yes.
So they're hearing it. They're hearing it right now. So the new music, so our old theme was something that I found on YouTube. It kept getting copyrighted by not even the original artist that created the music, but by some random guy that used the beat for his rap. So
in different language.
Yeah, it's not even in English, but he kept on copywriting us, so we had to stop using it. So the beat that you're hearing right now is actually something that I did in my own it's my own creation as a young producer. And so yeah, I hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. It was probably kind of weird that we didn't acknowledge it like 5 episodes ago when we started using it.
It's like after every recording, we forgot to actually do.
We just kept forgetting to mention it.
Yeah, just forgot to mention it, and then we always say, "Yeah, we're gonna mention it in this episode," and then we keep forgetting.
And then we would record the intro and totally forget to mention it. But here we are now. Hey, better late than never.
Alright, but as always, without further ado, let's get started with the first segment. And for this segment, we have a story time. What grinds my gears? I don't really know what this is. Mickey, care to explain?
It's a little bit of both, little brother and audience. I was thinking there's 2 things that kind of fall under the same umbrella that I want to discuss with you all today. And I could do them separate, but I figured it would be better just to knock this whole topic out in one segment. So that's what I'm going to do. And we're going to start with what grinds my gears. All right?
Okay.
So what's grinding my gears is... So the past, I want to say, just under 5 months, I was working at the Dollar Tree headquarters office in Chesapeake, Virginia. Okay? And, the details of that, I guess, don't really matter. They're not relevant. But I no longer work there as of now. But when I was there, so if you've not ever seen the Dollar Tree headquarters, it is a really big building. I mean, it's a huge operation they're running in this place. The building is a total of, I want to say 13 stories. The 13th story is what they call the mezzanine, where they do it's just a big open ballroom kind of place where they would have events and things. And then there's a rooftop, which I did not have access to, but you could look out and see it, and that was cool, whatever. Okay. So I was working in the HR department, and the HR department when I first started was on the fourth floor. And then, about a month or so in, they decided to move it to the 11th floor, which was, hey, a big step up. And I'll tell you what, the views from the 11th floor, pretty crazy. Maybe I did take some pictures. I might be able to see if I can have those showing right now. But
Okay.
yeah, that was all really cool. However, the elevator situation. Let me explain to you
Hmm.
how the elevators work at the Dollar Tree headquarters. Okay? They have what you call a smart elevator system. And I know that that sounds like a really high tech thing. It sounds cool, very futuristic. Smart elevator, who's even heard of that? Like you had to have lived in like
Hmm.
lived or worked in some really special kind of place to have experienced the smart elevator system. It's so complicated. Let me break it down to you. Every floor has, so there's six main elevators in the tower. There's six elevators. They're all in the center of the building or whatever room you're in. It's in like the center of the floor. It's three and three facing each other. And then within that space, there's each floor has three screens. There's touch screens on the walls, and it has a little keypad with numbers. And this is where you type
Hmm.
in what floor you want to go to. And then what happens is
Okay.
it tells you which elevator is going to come to bring you to that floor. And each elevator is labeled A through F. Okay? So let's say
Okay.
I come in, I need to go to the 11th floor. I would type the one in twice, right? And then it might say, let's say
Yes.
B. And then that would take
Okay.
me. So, but the issue is that it's something to get used to. For one, the touchscreen is sometimes a little laggy. I've typed in 111 a bunch of times because it'll like double do one of the ones. I've typed in one by accident because it didn't catch one of the ones. You see what I'm saying?
Mm, yes.
So
Oh
then,
my God.
and then what also takes some getting used to is like if you've used an elevator before, what you typically would do is just press an up or down arrow, and then you wait and see which one opens. And so what I had a hard time getting
Yes.
used to is you have to keep looking at the screen. You have to look at the screen to see which elevator. You can't just press the buttons and then look up or look away because it only comes up for like 2 seconds. You've got like a good couple seconds
Oh.
in order to like see which elevator is going to open. And if you miss it, let me tell you something. If you miss it, you're in some trouble because you're not going to know which direction to look for one. So if the elevator opens and you're not in the right spot, it might close on you. Okay? Another issue is
Oh.
if you're not looking, the next elevator, if there's other people waiting or if there's other people coming to the floor that you're on and that opens, you might get on it by mistake and it's not going to go to the floor that you're going to. So you can't just hop into
Huh.
the next
That.
elevator that opens because it's not going to stop unless there's someone else on there going where you're going. That's the only way that it's going to stop on the floor that you need. And then on top of that, I think I failed to mention that when you go into the elevator, there are no controls as far as floor.
No.
You can't
What?
control it
How does that?
from inside the elevator at all. So if you get in, let's say you're on the first floor, you're trying to go to 10, you get in the wrong one, it goes to say 5, right? The only thing you can do at that
Yes.
point is get out on 5, type it in on one of those the screens and then get back in on the next one.
Oh my God. No way. No way.
That's the smart elevator system, everybody. So smart.
That,
And then
that's
let me
garbage.
also add another layer of confusion. Computers don't always work the way you want them to work. How about that? So there was
Oh
one
my
day
god.
the elevators were acting up really bad. One time I was coming back from my break, and so I was trying to get back up to 11. There were two other ladies there. They had typed in 10 in front of me, and then I went behind them and I typed 11, and then it said A, right? So then we're all standing there in front of the A
Yes.
elevator. The elevator opens and there's a little voice. Each one it has a little voice on it that announces what it's doing. And the A elevator opened and it said going down. And we're all looking at each other like,
Um.
"What? We're going up though. This elevator should be going up. It told us to get into A so that we could go up to the 10th and
Yes.
11th floor. And it's saying going down. It was going down to the first floor. And we're on the second floor. And we're like, wait a second. So then we each type it again and it said
Jeez.
A again. It was like
Yes.
there was something wrong with the system, basically. Everyone was having the same issue. It didn't matter which elevator came up, it was doing the wrong thing. And then when I finally got an elevator that was going to the 11th floor, it also stopped on every floor. There were other people in there with me, but there wasn't someone getting off or on every floor. It was just stopping on every floor for no reason.
That
So it took
is
it took
strange.
so long to come back to work because it kept stopping on like it took so long for it to finally show up, and then it was stopping on every floor, and we're all looking at each other like, what in the world, are we stuck, like what's going on? So yeah, that's the other part of the smart elevator system.
Oh my. No way. No.
Yeah, what do you think of that, Ricky?
What's wrong with the traditional elevators? Like, what's wrong with that?
We need
Like, why?
I don't know.
Like, why do companies feel the need to have these types of smart elevators just to actually fit the times and when technology is just not there? And then, like, a lot of people, it's just so hard to really adapt to that type of environment. I would know I would actually be struggling the first 2 weeks.
And best believe me, I was struggling. Like that first week, it was a really big adjustment because when you work in a big tower like that, the elevator is kind of like a big part of your day, is being on the elevator. The elevator can make the difference between being on time and late, for sure. Like it becomes like a
Yes.
big part of what you do is being on the elevator. I used to get like pretty bad vertigo whenever I was on an elevator. Getting on that elevator like maybe four, it will be like either 2 or 4 times a day depending on if I left for my break. Um so sometimes it'd be 4 times in a day that I was riding the elevator. And that kind of, it really did help me with that. I stopped getting dizzy when I got off of the elevator, so I guess that's the good thing. But yeah, like the elevator
Yes.
experience can really make or break your day when it comes to like you work in a big place like that with that's really high up. Um, whether or not the elevator wants to cooperate and how many people there are at the
Hmm.
time you're trying to ride it. I used to try to avoid those
Yes.
high traffic times cuz then you're going to be doing a lot of stopping. So, especially on the way out. Like in, I guess we can. I'm not in a rush coming in. Well, when it's time to go home, I'm trying to get out of there quickly. And sometimes there would be a lot of other people trying to get off and on and all of that at the same time. So it would take me so long to get out. And so yeah, the elevator can really
Uh,
make a have like play a big role is what I'm trying to say in your day.
yeah.
Um yeah, it definitely took some, there was a few times, it was at least twice where I got on or off the elevator in the wrong place. Not on, but like I got off the elevator in the wrong place and I had to do it again. And it's so frustrating. And sometimes you'll be standing there for so long before it opens, before any of the elevators show up. Like I've stood and waited for it up to 10 minutes standing in the hallway
And
waiting for the elevator that it told me was coming. Like it
oh
I've waited
God.
for a while before. Imagine just standing there in the same spot waiting for this door to open for 10 minutes.
Oh no. Not at that point. Might as well just take the stairs. Are the stairs an
The
option?
stairs are an option. It's just a lot of stairs.
Well, it'd rather be that than have to deal with these elevators.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just it would be a lot of stairs. Um I
Mm,
don't know, man.
God.
I was very excited about the whole thing because it does feel important to stand there and type in my little what floor I'm going to, but oh my god, it has its pitfalls. It
Yeah.
definitely has its pitfalls. Now, that brings me to the second part of this segment, which is going to be a story time. And the story time is related to the elevators at the Dollar Tree headquarters. Okay?
Okay.
Story time. The other day, I had quite the interaction. So I was coming back from my break and I went over to the elevator and I was going to do what I usually do, type in my little 1-1, go back so I could get back to my floor. Um, but I noticed that there was an elevator just as I was walking up to the screen. One of the elevators said that it was going up and I looked in it and you can see there's a little screen that says what floors it's going to if you're able to glance in there quick enough. The doors have to be open in order for that to work. But I glanced over and it said 11 and I was like, I better get on this quick because I might be standing here a long time waiting for another elevator to come down to this floor to go up to 11. So what did I do? I ran over to it and I just shoved my arm into the doors as it was closing.
Oh.
I just threw my
Oh
arm through the
yeah.
door and it just barely. I mean, I snatched it back. I snatched it right back, but I wanted to trigger the motion sensor. So I jammed my arm in it, snatched it back real quick, right? And it was like so
Yeah.
narrow. It was just barely wider than my arm. Like maybe half a centimeter on either side was where this elevator was at in its closing. Like my arm very well could have been crunched off. And but it
Yeah.
opened because I was like, I gotta get in this thing. That's how badly I didn't want one away. I could have lost my arm, but it did open back up, and I stepped in. And then there was a man in there he said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! You got to be careful doing that, or this might happen to you." And then he held up his hand, his left hand, and he only had half of an index finger.
Oh.
The man was missing
Oh
half of his finger on his left hand. And he was acting like he lost it. And I was just kind of like, oh, okay. It was like scary. And then
oh
the
my
guy was
god.
like, he started laughing. And he was like, I'm just kidding. I didn't lose my finger in the elevator. But how funny would that be? I was like, ha ha ha. Because
That
I
sounds like
didn't think,
something that would actually happen in a sitcom.
yeah, that was that kind of interaction. It was like, like I didn't actually losing the elevator. I didn't think it would be funny at all if you lost your finger in the Dollar Tree elevator. But then he said he proceed. I did not ask for any of this, by the way. Let me clarify. I did not say a single word to this guy. But then he proceeded to explain to me how he actually lost it in a lawnmower. He
Oh.
lost half of his finger in a lawnmower. And he was just
Mm.
dying to share it with somebody, I guess. he,
And yeah, I mean, the situation kind of makes sense.
yeah, he was just dying to tell somebody, I think, because I did not ask. I was not going to ask. I didn't think it was any of my business how he lost his finger. If he hadn't said anything, I wouldn't have even noticed that he lost his finger. I'm not inspecting people's hands.
Nope.
I wouldn't have noticed if he hadn't held it up and made a joke about it. I think that guy probably looks for, like, that. He must be, like, really boring. That's the only interesting thing that's ever happened to him, and he looks for a way to bring it up in every possible situation. That's what I think. So, in any time,
Mm,
it could be
yeah.
relevant, even just a little bit. This guy's bringing up that he lost his finger, and, like, don't do that because you'll end up like me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was so. I don't even know what word to use. Funny? I don't know. I wasn't really. I was like nervously laughing at the time. It was just so uncomfortable. Like, how do you
I think
even?
it was like,
I don't know how you even are supposed to. I didn't want to say anything offensive.
oh, actually, no, I get it. It's called dark humor.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't know the guy. I mean, he seems to be in a place with his disability that he makes jokes about it, but is he comfortable with other people making jokes about it? I don't know. I've never seen this man in my life.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing.
He just happened to be
He,
going to the floor I was going to, and that's all I knew about him.
yeah.
So, I was thinking of some different things to say, but it just didn't seem appropriate because I wasn't sure if he was going to be offended. And I work in the HR department. You can't be offensive when you work in HR. So I was like, I'm not gonna make a joke about this man's half finger, like, or and say anything, because I thought about it. And I was like when he said, I lost it in the lawnmower." Well, I mean, what I'm gonna say? Oh, that's good that you didn't lose it in the elevator.
Yeah.
Could I mean, that sounds like a weird thing to say because he still lost his finger, so it's not good.
Nope.
I really couldn't. I was just nervously giggling. Oh, haha. Yeah, oh, yeah. Like, that's the kind of things I was saying. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Haha. I was just matching his energy. I don't know what. Maybe someone in the comments can say how you would have responded in that situation. Maybe something witty that I'm not witty enough to have come up with in the moment.
I really got nothing.
I don't really know. Yeah, let me know down below. And I think that wraps that up. What grinds my gears and story time all in one. Buy
All
one, get
right.
one free. So for this segment, I think Ricky's got a story time for us.
Well, it's more or less a story, more a phenomenon that's kind of been happening all my life.
A phenomenon?
I think it is, and it's just been bothering me for years now. I mean,
Okay.
have you ever really experienced a fear that you don't really have?
A fear that I don't really have? What do
Yeah.
you mean?
What I mean is that I have a fear of stairs, but not. I don't have a fear of stairs.
Ricky,
Yeah,
what are you
yeah.
talking about?
Yeah, I know. Okay, look, it's actually really complicated. Let me actually explain. So, for years now, I have been dreaming, as everybody has. And
Mm-hmm.
dreams, they're weird. They're actually this so weird little reality that the brain actually comes up with. Some,
Mm-hmm.
it's so normal. Like, you have these, like, normal, everyday occurrences. Others are just vastly different. Like, you're living like an alternate reality, either like in some sort of physical world or some inner dimension. And this is just another reality that I live in, where I fear the stairs. Every single time I actually dream, it has something to do with stairs, whether it actually be. Most of it is just actually walking downstairs. I always hesitate. I'm always just really petrified at the thought of actually climbing downstairs and the fear of actually falling down the stairs. Something that doesn't really happen in real life. Because I can easily just
Mm-hmm.
walk up and down the stairs normally, no issues. But in a dream, for some reason, I'm really scared. I don't know what's happening, why this actually happens, but it's just kind of this weird sort of dream that I just can't really explain. And it's like every time this always happens, I always just wake up. I'm not really gasping for air, and like even if I'm actually doing some like, little bit of falling down the stairs thing, like, I'm not waking up in sweat or in like some sweat or actually distress. I wake up and then like I just go on my day like it's nothing. And then when we're actually going to some sort of like big event where there is stairs, like I said, I don't really have an issue with climbing up or down. I don't have an issue looking down the stairs. I can look down the stairs and I don't have any panic that actually sets in my body at all, except in a dream. Like I said, I don't even know why this sort of occurrence happened, but I've taken note on it for years now. It's probably the first time I ever really said this out loud before.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. If you're not scared of stairs in your awake life, I don't know why you would be in your dreams.
I really don't know. I mean, I am kind of iffy on heights, I guess, but like I said, the stairs is just not that issue. It may be having to do with a height thing, but like I said, I just really don't know.
Maybe you have trauma. Maybe you fell down some stairs when you were like too young to remember, and now that's a core memory for you. It's like a like just some type of like underlying trauma.
I don't know what that means.
Well, let me share something with the audience that that what you're saying kind of reminds me of. Um, I'm sure there's some people in our audience that might be too young to remember Hurricane Katrina. It happened around, I want to say 2001 or two, something like that. It was like the early 2000s. I don't know. I wasn't old enough to really understand, but like I was just a toddler, and it was me, you, and our parents in our little two-bedroom apartment that we lived in at the time, and our power went out due to the storm. So our father got on the grill, and I don't know what the food was that he made, but he messed it up. He didn't do it right. And it came out like burnt on the outside and raw on the inside. Awful. And from that point forward, I did not like barbecued food. I did not like any food that had been on the grill. I hated grilled food. And the thing is, and I had that for a while until like a few years ago I started liking going to barbecues again and having grilled food. I finally have shaken that trauma. But I know that it was like a traumatizing experience for me as a toddler because I knew that I didn't like grilled food for so long, but I didn't know why. I didn't remember any of this until our mother told me that that's what happened.
Okay.
I still don't. Like, after hearing it, it's like I can picture what happened and I can kind of, like, it's like I've formed memories in retrospect, but I don't actually remember any of that. It's just like I remember that I don't like grilled food, but I didn't know where the trauma came from until I was told.
Okay.
So it was like that was like actual trauma. Like I had like post traumatic stress. This food was so bad. I did not eat grilled food for years after that.
No, you didn't.
I was like 2 or 3, and I didn't start eating grilled food again until I was like 20, like a few years. Like it hasn't, like it was for so my whole child. So maybe, so I say all that to say that maybe there's something from your childhood, like maybe you were dropped or something, and like those feelings, they're still a part of you, even though you don't remember that every experience you have is still going to be a part of you. So maybe
I
now, like these
guess.
dreams are the manifestation of the deep underlying fear and trauma from whatever happened to you going down some stairs.
Yeah, but like, I mean, it could be the case, but like, what did you think it would actually happen if I was like awake?
Maybe not. I don't know. The brain is very complicated, Ricky.
Yeah, that is.
It doesn't all make sense sometimes the way the brain works. It's not all like straight in a line, logical.
Yes. Yeah.
Sometimes the brain works in weird ways that we don't even understand. Like even like neurologists and stuff like don't fully understand how the human brain works. So
Mm,
who knows? Maybe you're just lucky that you're not afflicted with being terrified of stairs in your awake life,
yeah.
which is a good thing because that would be so embarrassing. Like I
Oh
don't know
yeah.
how you would do anything. Like stairs are such a big part of life.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
this, I don't
It's
know about everywhere, but like in this country, stairs are everywhere.
yes, they are.
So it's a good thing that you're not scared of stairs.
Mm.
The
Um,
awake you.
I mean, I am kind of a little bit on edge with like elevators. That was kind of the main fear I had back then when I was awake was elevators.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
but aren't your dreams about stairs?
Yeah, well, that's the only not fear that I actually had with involving like stairs and elevators.
Mm-hmm.
It was just the elevators in the awake world, stairs in the dream world. Which elevators could easily be explained. The stair thing, maybe. I don't really know for sure.
Yeah, I've never really heard of being scared of stairs. Scared of elevators is pretty common though, because it could be either the claustrophobia or it
Mm,
could be like the fear of it like malfunctioning and things like that, or like being stuck in the elevator or
nah,
stuck
it
with
was
other people.
nah. It's the stuck in the elevator that kind of really got to me, and really take the other things
Yeah,
into consideration.
I think that that's like pretty common.
Yeah, yeah.
But the stairs, I don't think I've heard of that.
Hmm,
But
nah.
all right, well, how about y'all leave a comment if you have bad dreams about stairs? Y'all having nightmares about stairs, or is it just Ricky? If you don't, just say he's weird in the comments. All right, for this segment, Ricky wants to do a would you rather.
Yeah, we haven't really done this in a really long time. So, yeah, it's going to be very unique, probably funny. This time, I wrote some of the options down, and I'm going to be asking Mickey, would you rather do this or this? You already know
Okay.
the rules, so let's get started.
All right.
So, would you rather live in a nice house in a bad neighborhood or live in a bad house in a good neighborhood?
Okay. That really depends on a few factors. Like what makes a good or bad neighborhood? Do you mean like what I want in a neighborhood, or like you just mean like crime?
Like, bad neighborhood has like high crime rates.
So you're just talking about crime, not like location.
Location does have a part of it,
Because I'm thinking
but
like
yeah,
a
I'd say it's
bad
mostly crime.
neighborhood can still be in like a in like a good area. Like there could be crime here, but there's still good restaurants and like it's close to work and stuff like that, which I don't see as so bad. I don't know. I'm not really. I live in Norfolk, so I'm really not that scared of crime. I think I'd rather live in a nice house in a bad neighborhood because I'm such a big homebody that like what my home is like is so important to me. It's much more important than what neighborhood I live in. You know what I mean? I think it's
Yeah.
having a nice home. I'm going to be in the home a decent amount. So, I'd rather that be nice than I mean, who wants to even live in a bad house in a nice neighborhood? Then like all the neighbors just look down on you. You got the worst house in the neighborhood. I'd rather have the best
Um,
house in the neighborhood.
yep. I guess that's a good option.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Now time for the next one. Would you rather jog for 2 hours straight wearing winter clothes in the summer heat or become a cat lady?
Those are very strange options.
Yeah.
They don't really match up.
Yeah, it's actually pretty drastic.
I'm allergic to cats, but I'm also allergic to exercise, so I don't really know. Uh,
But if you had to choose one thing, what would it be?
well, do I only have to jog the one time?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'd
I
rather
mean, you
get
could
that.
choose.
I'd rather get that out of the way if it's just the one jog for 2 hours. Like that's way less of like less recovery for me than living with cats that I'm allergic to for their entire lives. Seems like less of a
And
burden.
let's not forget, it's the stereotypical crazy cat lady. You
Yeah,
know one of those types?
yeah, I do.
Yeah. I'd rather take the jogging too. Okay. Hmm. Would you rather become a crazy vegan or live in the woods?
A crazy vegan? What does that
Yeah.
mean? Like the lady that was like, "That's not vegan." You remember that?
Yeah.
You're like,
One of
that's not
those.
vegan. Okay, that's not
It's
vegan.
yeah. It's one of those crazy anti-meat eating people who like to actually cause problems in public
That
areas.
that's a good term, anti-meat eating. It's more than just being vegan. It's being anti-meat, anti-animal product kind of people.
Yes.
And then what was the other option? Live in the
Live in the
woods.
woods.
Well,
Yes.
I can't live in the woods. That's just not gonna work. So I
Oh
guess I'd rather be a
God.
vegan. I can't live in the woods.
Okay.
Because I live in the woods, you probably are vegan. Like, you can only eat what you hunt, and I can't hunt. So that would be
I
like
mean,
both.
you don't have to be vegan. You can actually hunt for animals.
I can't hunt animals, Ricky. You've known me
Okay.
your entire life, and you think I can go out and hunt.
It's an option. You have to
I
take in
can't.
the woods.
I can't hunt, so that's not going to work. I'd rather live in society and I guess just eat vegetables, even though I hate vegetables and vegetable products for the most part. I like ketchup.
Okay.
I like a smoothie too, but not very often. Other than that, I don't eat a lot of fruit or vegetables, so that would be a big adjustment for me. However, I'd much rather do that than live in the woods.
Okay. Uh, okay. This next one should be a very easy one.
Okay.
Get $10,000, just straight $10,000, or get $1 per step.
I'd rather get $1 per step.
There we
You mean like
go.
forever or like for a set amount of time?
Forever. Just
Okay,
a
yeah.
dollar per step.
I'm gonna take way more than 10,000 steps in the rest of my life. So yeah,
All right.
I'd rather get a dollar for I mean, I think I don't really check my steps very often. I do wear an Apple Watch, but I don't really pay attention to that. If I had to guess, I'd probably take like 5,000 steps on average or so a day, just depending on, whatever I'm doing. Um, so that's already if I can take at least 5,000 steps a day on any typical day, that's already half of the 10 right there each day. Or
Yeah, that's
I
pretty
could
good.
make double that money in 4 days. And that's just like on a regular day. Like there's also days where I might be doing something special that I'm up and moving a lot. So, yeah,
Uh,
and then I might get 10,000 steps that day. And then that's not even counting like actually trying to get more steps. If I was getting paid to get steps, I would be going way out of my way to go on walks. And I mean, I would also probably get like exercise equipment so I can do it in the house if it's raining. I would probably
yeah,
get like a Peloton treadmill or something so I can keep taking steps. Like I would be going out of my way to get the steps. So like
exactly.
I could get way more money by doing steps.
All right. Okay, next one is a goofy one.
Okay.
So be prepared for this one. Eat a piece of paper or eat sand.
You said sand.
Yeah, sand.
I think I'd rather eat sand. I feel like sand is more natural. Like paper is like dyed and like chemicals on it. I feel like sand won't hurt me as much. Cause like
Yeah, of
I
course.
think like the Neanderthals ate sand and rocks and stuff. That's
Granted,
why we have the appendix.
I did not even know that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's something. I don't know what I. It was a long time ago that I heard this, but I think that the appendix was from our, like, us as humans, our ancestors. Like, one of them. I don't know if it was Neanderthals or what it was. Homo erectus or something. I don't know. But like the appendix used to be used as extra digestion because they would eat, like, they didn't really worry about, like, they didn't know anything. Like, they didn't know what has nutritional value and what doesn't. So sometimes they'd eat like rocks, sticks, dirt, and like just stuff that our bodies can't digest regularly. And it would get extra digestion and extra breakdown in the appendix. Whereas now,
Yeah,
we since we don't eat rocks anymore, it's not really used for anything. But I think
yeah,
that, so I say all that to say, I don't think the sand would do as much harm. That also reminds me, there was an episode of My Strange Addiction that was about this lady that kept eating sand. She loved eating sand and she was fine. So I think I could eat some
yeah,
sand, especially
yeah,
if
that's
it's
good.
just one time. Like, she had been doing it every day for years and she was fine. So if I just have to eat sand one time, I think that that would be better than eating a piece of paper.
Yeah, okay. All right. Now, this is a final question.
Okay.
Would you rather trash your car for $1 million or buy a used 1950s car for 1,000?
I'd rather buy a 1950s for 1,000.
Really?
Does it
Like,
cost me 1,000 or I get 1,000?
I mean, yeah, it costs you 1,000 for the car.
And then you're saying, or I trash my current car and they give me $1 million?
Yeah.
That's a weird question, Ricky. Because the $1 million seems pretty obvious, but at the same time, I don't know, a car from the 50s isn't so bad. I like old cars.
I'm like, yeah, but like, it's $1 million.
Why, when you say trash, what do you mean? Like, just throw
But
trash in it?
no, I mean like completely destroy your car.
Well, I don't want to do that. I can just pay $1,000 and get the old car. That would be cool.
I mean, yeah. I mean, come on. I mean, you get it. I mean, you could still get the old car for that $1 million that you got. I mean, you could actually spend anything for $1 million.
I guess so. But I like my car. I don't want to destroy it.
Wow.
I don't think you could pay me to destroy my car on purpose. I really don't. I love it and I wouldn't do that. There's no amount of money. I say keep it.
But I mean, what are you gonna do with the old car that you just bought?
I can have that too. Why not both? ¿Por qué no los dos?
I mean, both cars. Nah. I think maybe it's because you actually have so much attachment to your car. But for
Mm-hmm.
me, I'll do it in a heartbeat. Because again, it's $1 million.
But
Like
you
this is another opportunity that's gonna actually not come up. Like what opportunity is gonna come up when I get $1 million?
but you
You can
just
tell
got
me to do
your
anything
car.
for $1 million. I could actually buy two of those cars. Like for $1 million, I could probably actually buy a house for $1 million. It's $1 million.
What is
Tell,
this
tell me to
accent?
do anything that drastic. All you have to say is you will pay me $1 million. I will do that in a heartbeat.
Eat poop.
$1 million, I'm eating it.
No way.
I am
Ah.
that serious. In this economy right now, I'll do anything for $1 million.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Oh,
That's crazy. Chop off your arm.
okay, I could just pay $1 million to have a robotic arm.
That's crazy. No way. You're just talking crazy talk now. $1 million doesn't even get you that far these days. Like it doesn't do what it used to be able to do because the value of the US dollar has decreased so much. Like $1 million isn't even all that much money. You would be out of that
Uh,
so quick. If you buy a house and a car, that's gonna be like most of it right there. Like if you're gonna just spend cash, like just take it out of my bank account. I have $1 million in my bank account. Just take the value, like what these things cost out of my bank account right now. You would be out of the money so fast. A decent house is gonna cost you like what, half of that? Depending on what, it depends on what kind of house you want and in what area. But houses are not cheap anymore. They're very expensive. I don't know if it's worth it. Yeah, and then you get up every day and look in the mirror and say and see your one arm, your stump. You're like, this costed me everything just to be in like a 4 bedroom house that was $500,000. It costed me my literal arm.
oh my god.
And it's
No
like it's not
way.
even like a mansion or anything. Like it's not even anything that special because houses cost too much. I don't know, little brother. I think the price is just way too low.
So you telling me I need to up the price to 1 billion, and then I'll be
Nah,
straight?
I feel like at least 5 million. 5 million is still a lot. 5 million is enough that you could actually buy like a really nice home, maybe even a mansion, and still be okay.
Okay.
1 million to chop off your arm is just not enough. 5 million, that's something where you would be set.
So would you have trashed your car for 5 million?
See, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think you could pay me to do it.
No.
And car means too much to me. I don't think I could. I don't think I could damage it on purpose.
Mm.
Not even for
Oh,
5 million.
oh my god. Well, I guess that's all the time we have for today for Would You Rathers. Who knows? Maybe this segment might come back if we have more creative ideas, but I think as of right now, I don't really have any other crazy things I could really think of right now.
All right. Well, let us know what your answers are in the comments to each of these. I would love to know if anyone thinks I'm crazy for any of my answers. Let's debate in the comments. And that concludes our show for this episode of Take It With a Grain of Sand. Thank you so much for listening, And remember to always take it with a grain of sand.